Cheers. Hello, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mark, for your opening address. It's certainly a pleasure to be here again in this wonderful venue. I think you'll all agree this is one of the best, albeit that come November, I think it's going to be a pile of rubble from what I've heard, which is unfortunate. And it's great to see so many old and new faces alike, probably more old than new, but that'll sort of lead me on to one of my points that I'm going to come up to. Anyway, I'm very grateful and flattered to have been given this opportunity to spend 10 minutes to pull the trigger on the day ahead. So like my good self, it will need to be short and sweet. I'll leave you to be the judge on the sweet bit, but have a think about it. It shouldn't take too long. However, I've picked 4 key fire safety sound bites. I was going to say points, but I think they're probably sound bites because there's so many other things that we could be talking about today, which some of the other speakers will touch on. I hope they integrate into the theme of today's seminar, which is fire safety and evacuation, which hopefully resonate with you as they do me in providing some food for thought. It occurred to me on my way here this morning that come the 1st of July, in 2 days' time, I've been working 44 years. Yep, you got it, 44 years. And in all that time, fire has been in my job title. Well, go on then. Yes, I thought I was going to hear you say that can't be possible. You don't look a day over 40. And no, I didn't start when I was 3. So it is true. 44 years. Doesn't make me a better person. And with that said, I'm not planning to hang up my scale ruler just yet. Which kind of brings me somewhat seamlessly to my first soundbite, which I've titled Young Blood. The increase in fire safety work, which in some ways has come about for all the wrong reasons, is not going away anytime soon. I hear the same thing every week, whether in the passive and active arena of fire safety, or the belt and braces side of it, which I tend to call it, the cold-face stuff like risk assessment, fire safety training, healthcare fire safety managers, advisors. And I say in quotes, we just can't find the people. Strange enough, I've already had a couple of conversations without prompting that this morning from people saying, isn't it difficult to find the people that we need in either side of our business? So here's an open question to you all. Can we contribute to changing that? And can we go about promoting this industry to a younger demographic, be it as individuals, as us, or through the organisations that we work for? We need to encourage younger people to enter the profession outside of the popular university fire engineering degree route. We need fire engineers, but when I speak to most young people that have now got fire in their job title, they're telling me that, yeah, I'm doing the fire engineering degree, which is great. We need them, but we also need those people at the coalface that do the other stuff in fire safety. I know the IFSM, the Institute of Fire Safety Managers, has made some inroads to do this, which is admirable, but can we do more? This could be through apprenticeship schemes, direct employment on a mentoring basis, or to just sowing the seed on a personal level with sons, our daughters, their friends. And more importantly, do we need to be getting into the schools? Do we need to be having those conversations with people in schools that talk about careers? I think the day of the career officer has probably gone, but I'm sure that we can start sowing that seed with them and tell them actually potentially how attractive the job is. I think it's doable, and we need to collectively promote and push that agenda to ensure that fire risk assessors, fire trainers, managers and advisors of the future are steadily being filtered into this fantastically rewarding profession, which I think it is. So on to my next sound bites, and I'll cover these together. Innovation and mitigation. Back in the day when I started my career, it was usual to describe what we did as fire prevention. I was a fire prevention officer. Fire prevention, fire safety, you wouldn't want to split hairs between the terminology. I guess there's not much between them. But the word prevention has stuck with me because ultimately that's what we want to do. Prevent an unplanned fire starting in the first place. Although we have seen where even planned fires can go drastically wrong with the devastating results that having a barbecue on a timber balcony can have. And we've seen that as recently as a couple of weeks ago in Croydon. Of course, we don't always win that battle, and now is not the time to dwell on the severe consequences that come from an uncontrolled fire. And I'm not just alluding to the Grenfell Tower fire. There have been many others of note. I think you'll agree. Suffice to say that as things stand, I'm not convinced that at this moment in time, the government or the regulators are keeping pace with the changing landscape of fire safety. Be that because of technological advancement, e.g. the amount of lithium batteries that are just about in everything that we hold and use these days, electrical vehicles, modern methods of constructions, etc., etc. And I'm sure there's a few that we could add on to that. Or the fact that the fire and rescue services are dealing with diminishing resources, resulting in fewer audits being carried out in higher risk premises. Standards and guidance and approved codes of practice are notoriously slow to be rewritten or amended to keep up with the pace of technology, I feel, and how that is being introduced into our world, that is fire safety. In many respects, I believe we are becoming the gatekeepers, and it's for us to engage with, promote, trust credible innovation now in order to ensure our fire safety toolbox contains ready-to-go solutions for us to mitigate the effects fire will have on people, our buildings, our organisations, and indeed the environment. In our existing buildings, the ongoing financial constraints in the areas many of us work in, such as hospitals, universities, social housing, where the highest level of fire safety provision is needed because of the sleeping risk and in many cases the vulnerability of the building users, can prove to be challenging to say the least. It can be a walking through treacle battle just to meet with and maintain minimal standards of fire safety that the guidance and approved codes set us. Real world stuff. Yes, we can ensure it is raised on our FRAs or put onto risk registers, but until the issue is addressed, it still remains a tangible chink in our armour to protect the people, the building and the business. Are we doing enough to mitigate issues by looking at other cost-effective ways of achieving the safety we want now, and not when the money becomes available in 2, 3, 4, 5 years' time? Whilst I accept that it's easier said than done, that brings me to my last point. Training, training, training. The training of our staff, who will ultimately be expected to assist with the emergency plan and evacuation strategy, be that a simultaneous, phased, progressive, horizontal, or indeed stay put, defend in place, is something we probably all get involved in, whether that's delivering it, writing it, or attending it. Yes, we do it because it's a legal requirement, but I would argue that this is one of the most underrated, cost-effective mitigations you can introduce into a not-so-perfect building. There is a caveat, though. How good is your training package? How engaging is it? How do we know that when the person leaves that room, they truly become our eyes and ears to hopefully recognise an opportunity to prevent a fire happening in the first place? And if it does happen, are they swift and confident in their response? If possible, to extinguish it and/or effectively assist with an evacuation. A question for those of you that have large or multiple staff buildings: would you know as of today where your fire wardens, your fire marshals are located? Is there coverage in all of your areas? Have any left the organisation or transferred? Have you the means to know that on a day-to-day basis? So let's not sheep-dip them. Let's really engage them, and let's be adaptable and smart as to how we deliver it. In my opinion, it truly can pay dividends. So, can I smile now? Is that all right? That is my very quick two-penneth that I hope will stimulate some thinking and discussion for the day ahead. Of course, I would like to doff my proverbial cap to Alan, Oliver. I know Mark's already done it, but I suspect it will be done a few times today because this is truly a great event, and it's great to see so many people here for organising this event, and it's great to see all of you from so many areas of the built environment. We're not specialists here. This is great. It's right across all types of uses, all types of buildings, and I think that's important. And of course, to represent some companies that provide all of the staff, not all of it, but a good some of it, to make people and buildings safer to be in. So all it remains for me to say is thank you for lending me your ears to allow me to talk about something that remains just as important to me now as it did 44 years ago. And I can say that with my hand on my heart because it's the truth. Lastly, I would like to doff that proverbial cap just one more time, if I may, and that's to all of you, and this is sincere, who I know keep fighting the fight and keep those fire safety plates spinning. We can put a number on fires that are extinguished, but we can't put a number on the fires that have been prevented by the actions and work many of you do on a daily basis. I suspect it would be many. So, just to reiterate, my 4 fire safety sound bites for today: young blood, innovation, mitigation, and training. You have made the effort to attend today. I would say make it count, engage with as many people as you can, engage with the companies attending, because you never know, you just might find the solution or the answer to that fire safety conundrum that's been bugging you. Thanks, and have a great day. Thank you.